Thank you so much, Kalpana. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be back here with all of you. As Kalpana shared, I'm going to, or we are going to talk about mind body awareness series in this next four sessions. And today, primarily, we'll be talking about the five elements of life, Pancha Bhutas, the ancient wisdom. It gives in its own way how these elements create balance in our life. So that is what I'm going to share with you all. I prepared a simple presentation. I'll share with you so that we can go through with that. I'll share my screen quickly. Okay. Do you all able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Okay. Let us go. So five elements primarily they are depicted or given in yoga. So that's why I just gave a small reference here. So yoga is not just asanas or moving our body and practicing those poses and things like that. It is also a way of understanding ourselves. Right, that is what one of the main objectives of yoga. So ancient traditions describe life through these five elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. So we know these elements exist outside in our nature, but they also exist within ourselves as well. And that is what we are going to see today, how they exist in our body and how they control or manage us through different elements or through different emotions and feelings or actions in our life. Let us see each of them. For before going to see those elements, why this matters. So just to have a background or just to have a understanding how they control us, we go through all these kind of emotions day by day, right? Sometimes, some days we might feel very stable, very balanced, very calm, very grounded. We might feel, and sometimes maybe some days go by very emotional, like different kinds of feelings are going through in our mind or things like that, and some days are restless, and some days we feel exhausted and overwhelmed. Why is that? Why is that? So that is what through these lens, through these five elements, we will see them, and then maybe yoga will help us understand to our emotions and other things when we start seeing them through these inner states and through the lens of five elements. So that is what I'm going to share with you all in this first session. So the first element is nothing but earth element. So what it represents is it represents stability, it represents grounding, and it gives us structure. That is what it represents. So in our daily life, how these element plays part is, for example, our study routines. Like we might have some stable routines what we definitely follow, so that is what it represents. And also sometimes as I mentioned, like we might feel steady and secure and manifesting things mainly. For example, so when those things happen, that means that element is very much balanced in our life. And for example, if it is not balanced, then we might feel stuck, like nothing is moving forward. We are thinking something to do. We have everything we need in order to do that thing, but still it is not moving forward. We feel like we are stuck somewhere. So, and maybe we do not have feel that energy, or we don't have that motivation to continue on that task whatever we set to do, for example. Or maybe we feel heavy, not lighter anymore. These elements, this is what we tend to see when this particular element is imbalanced in our life. And so what are the some simple practices? Maybe at the end or maybe in the next session, I'll talk more about regular practices or some mudras or chakras or things like that. But today I want to go very simple. First of all, just having an understanding of what these elements are. So simple practices are like maybe that in yoga asana we have like mountain pose, right? Standing posture, just sitting or sitting posture like a lotus pose or vajrasana or a standing pose. Maybe when we get into that kind of a stable poses, that will give us some calmness and that will add some grounding into our day-to-day life as well. Or simple walking barefoot just to feel the earth element or just to feel the mother nature, mother earth, that will make us connected again and grounded again. And also deep breathing is one of the practices as well. So some of you, I think there is one other sessions going on. I saw like related to chakras and everything. So some of you might have attended that session. So they might have talked as well, connection of these elements to chakra. So if I connect this element, it's all about our Muladhara chakra, right? So if that is in balance, and that is what helps us to connect to earth element, is what a Muladhara chakra is. Now let's see the next one, that is water element. So it represents kind of a flow in our life. For example, you said something, you wanted to work on something, and you see that it is really going well, it is flowing very smoothly, very deeply. Whatever practice, whether it is a practice or whether it is something you are working on, whatever it is, if you feel like if it is going very smoothly, that means this element is in a good shape or good format in your body. And also if you are feeling some nice calm emotions, not overwhelming, not very high and low, but just a normal nature of emotions. And also you are being able to adopt any changes that is coming your way, like you're not being overwhelmed or you're not being pushed back, but you are able to take that change, whatever you are coming in your life. That means this water element is predominantly going well in our body. In our daily life, where we can see this is in our relationships, like primarily at home, at workplace, at wherever you are meeting people, you're having very kind of a sync with them, you're able to connect with them basically. So when that happens, that means this element is in a good place. Or you're able to express yourself emotionally, whatever feelings. I mean, when both ways, right? Like whenever we have something, sometimes we talk to people, we try to express, we try to share things with them, but sometimes we feel like, no, I'm not able to connect with them, like they're not able to understand me, what I'm trying to say. So that is where the disconnect happens. But on the other end, if you are able to connect with them, that means everything, the balance is there. That is what the water element is all about. And you're being flexible, you're not being rigid or strong or stuck, like, no, I'll do things in certain way, I don't want to get into those other things or something like that. You're not being that way, you're being flexible, adapting, change, open to the change. If those traits you're seeing in your life, that means that water element is in a very good place. So when imbalanced, you will feel like emotional overwhelm, or you will be very rigid, you will not be able to accept that change, whatever comes in your way. That means that element is imbalanced. So what are some simple practices, like gentle movement of in yoga itself? You don't need to practice very strong poses or things like that, but just a simple move, or maybe a simple routine, dance routine, if you follow or something, just gentle movement of our body, that helps us to keep moving this water element as well. And relaxed breathing, and maybe water, drinking water, not being hydrated or something. And even one other thing what I noticed is being close to water. Like for example, I know some of our towns have beautiful lakes, things like that, right? So being in nature and being close to that water element, being sitting near the lake, sitting near close to that places, that also helps us absorb that water element into our body. And if I tell about chakras, it is about that second chakra, right? Swadhisthana. That is what it is all represents. So there is movement, there is good place. If that is flowing well, then this element is flowing good in our body. Now, coming to the third element, the willpower kind of thing, the fire element. So, strong willpower. It represents energy, digestion, and if you're motivated, you're self-driven, you're able to do things, whatever you set. If they're all going good, that means this element is in a very good place in our body. And in our daily life, we see them in these places, like that you are driven, you are self-driven, self-motivated, and whatever task you are taking, you're able to finish it, you are able to focus on it without any diversions or distractions. That means this element is in a good place and you're able to take action. sometimes you also come across, right? Like you want to do something, but then you are not being able to work on it or move forward on it. That means this element is imbalanced. But in other hand, if you are able to work on it, that means this element is in good place. Now, when imbalanced, you will see those kind of things. One is like negative emotions, anger, frustration, maybe not feeling good, or feeling low, feeling negative about ourselves, things like that. And you feel very exhausted, like burnout, like I'm not able to take any action or work on my goals or things like that. And you get very irritable very quickly. So, what are some simple practices? Core activation. So, this element is our chakra fire element, which is a strong Manipura that is in our near our navel section. We say so. If that is strong, activating the chakra and energizing breathing or a balanced activities, if we do, then we will be able to energize this element. The next one is air element. It represents movement, thoughts, creativity, and also in our daily life. If we are thinking, if you are able to communicate better with others, and if you are able to follow our activities, that is what this element represents. And in case if it is not balanced, then you will feel these imbalances like anxiety, then maybe restlessness, or you tend to overthink about things and all. So we observe these kind of imbalances in our day-to-day life, right? But sometimes we never know what is causing it or how do I overcome it. So once if we have this type of understanding, oh, this means my air element is not in good place, or I need to bring it into balance. So what do I do in order to bring it into balance? If we have that kind of a simple awareness, I think we will be able to overcome these kind of negative emotions, or then get into focus and get into start working on our things, whatever we tend to work. And simple practices again are slow breathing, mindful pauses, and maybe gentle stretches that will help us for air element. And it is related to our anhata chakra, that is in our heart region. That is what this chakra resembles. And last but not least is our space element, kind of a intuition. Like if you are able to, if you feel that like I'm able to get those suggestions from maybe higher than ourselves, or you're feeling some days you feel like I'm connected. Now I have that clarity. Now I can see my goals clearly, or I can feel that intuition in our mind. That is like kind of a Agna chakra, we say, right? So I'm able to do still, I follow stillness or awareness or openness. If you have, or if you are feeling more of those, that means that space element is in good place. But and when it is in imbalance, we feel like disconnected. Like crazy thoughts might be going on in our mind. Nothing is coming. Nothing is stable in our mind, or we are not able to focus on things. When that happens, that means this element, we want to focus on this particular element. So what the practices we want to do, what you all do regularly in our day-to-day life, in your day-to-day life, that is meditation or quiet sitting, and then just maybe getting distraction from the digital things, like what we tend to do continuously, like scrolling, or getting into, or those things, taking a break from those things. So those are our five elements, friends, which I wanted to take a new look into our day-to-day life from those lens. More than things working, when things are not working, having that awareness that, oh, maybe if I'm feeling anxious, I need to calm down my air element. Or if I'm not feeling any motivation, that means my willpower. So maybe that fire element is missing, or fire element is imbalanced. What do I do? Or maybe if I'm stuck, not able to take any action on my goals or start moving things, or maybe water element is not imbalanced. So how do I improve that? So having that awareness, I think, will helps us to bring that balance into our day-to-day life. and work on our things, whatever we tend to work. So simple practices are, just keep it very simple just to start with. Having that awareness is the main thing. So maybe those taking those deep breathing, or maybe just grounding practices, going on walks, and barefoot, experiencing nature, mother nature in its own form, and then having that awareness practice as well. So I would like to ask you all, like, which element you in your day, if you just go back and see in your day-to-day life, or maybe just today, like what element is predominant in your life, like you feel motivated, you feel strong, you feel connected, whatever it is. So just want to have a small reflection here and open it to all of you. And if anybody would like to share, which element do you feel most connected right now, whether it is air, or like a flow, water element, or maybe earth, like you're feeling grounded, or maybe intuition, you feel like you're connected to higher power, or clarity is there, focus is there, or which element you feel like you need more in your life. If anybody would like to share, I would like to open it to them. So want to live with this thought. So goal is not to control life, but just to understand ourselves better through this awareness of five elements of life. And I would like to leave you all with this thought: the balance, whatever balance in our life or day, it all begins with awareness of these five elements.